You too, man. What is going on today? We are talking about the inevitable. I never thought I would be talking about this again. Does Julian Newman actually have a shot at playing professional basketball? Will we see him in one of these professional jerseys very soon? Well, there's a lot more to this story than people really think about. So let's break it down and get right into it. Now, of course, Julian Newman, being one of these short guys who had a bad attitude in high school basketball and maybe even middle school as well, he is honestly one of the most hated players in my opinion. The type of criticism I see in the comment section is just ridiculous whenever his name does come up. Now, you have to give this dude some type of credit because he is, of course, a hard worker. If you see any of his workouts or any of the things that he's done on the court, this dude definitely was pretty faithful to the grind and put in a ton of work. Now, on the other hand, you could obviously say that some things in his career did not really go as planned or really as he wanted them to. Of course, him being around 4th, 5th grade playing varsity basketball was very impressive at the time. This dude was killing and doing things on the court people his age really were not doing. Now, as time went on, Julian Newman, of course, continued to play for his father in high school basketball, first being at Downey Christian Prep, which, in my opinion, they really were not playing any type of solid competition at all. And I think that was a huge factor here why they ended up making their own school. If you guys didn't know, Julian Newman actually ended up going with his father and making a brand new school called Prodigy Prep, where he was going to be the star in the center of that team. And they played against some decent competition. I am not gonna lie. They even played against IMG at one point and they got killed, but I gotta give them credit. At least they went up against a team like this and were not afraid to back up. And even in that game, someone threw a chair and there was a huge fight that broke out. But I gotta give credit that they actually went up against such a highly skilled and talented team. Now, Julian was still averaging crazy points in high school basketball, and I believe he even finished with scoring over 5,000 points. So that was super impressive as a high school basketball player. But no one was really interested in Julian because of a couple things. First and foremost, of course, his attitude on the court. But in addition to this, man, he played for his father and it really made for a toxic environment because I think a lot of times him and his father would butt heads and there really wasn't too much progress being made. Now, someone had recently brought to news that this was surfacing over the internet that Julian Newman may actually end up playing somewhere in the NBL. Now, you heard that right. And the reason I say this, and of course, we're going to say and preface this with this is some crazy speculation. I got to be honest here. But when we take a look at it, if you look at the owner of the NBL, the owner is Larry Kesselman. And if you guys did not know, of course, this dude actually has an Instagram. And if you take a look at his Instagram, Julian Newman is actually following this owner. Now, why would Julian be following this owner? Of course, the majority of times, you guys know these type of owners usually don't have any type of clout, and you really have to either know the person or even really be interested in something about them. So why would Julian Newman be following this owner? And maybe because he may have some interest in trying to actually go to the NBL, or maybe the NBL is somewhat interested in him. Now, take a look at this. We are not going to say that the NBL is interested in Julian Newman because of his talent and skill. That's clearly not the reason, but I've been saying this for a while now that Julian Newman may actually have a shot at this because of the amount of advertising dollars that you could spend on Julian Newman and the return that you would get. Take a look at what Julian Newman has going for himself. He has a TV show, of course. In addition to this, a ton of Instagram followers. A lot of people take a look at this dude and actually follow what he's doing regardless if they do not like him. And if you guys have seen, the NBL is clearly starting to recruit a lot more of these popular high school players and may even try to sway them, of course, to going these alternative routes. Of course, you have college basketball, the NBA G League, even overseas. A lot of these other places, the NBL is trying to sway top high school recruits to go there. Now, Julian Newman is no top high school recruit, and even if you did see, I reported that Dior Johnson actually had received a $1.2 million interest from the NBL, a contract for him to go there, which was crazy at the time. Of course, Dior Johnson, as of right now, is not going there, but if they're willing to spend that much money on Dior Johnson, of course, being one of the top players in his class, it wouldn't be so far-fetched to say that Julian Newman may actually end up getting some interest from the NBL. Of course, with all these things going for him, the advertising that he would bring to the NBL would be crazy crazy. Of course, Overtime would be over there. They have his TV show. So I think a lot more people would be tuning in to see what the NBL does have. And I think it would just make people look at the NBL and say, okay, maybe this is a lot more serious than I thought. Of course, you guys know LaMelo Ball was over there, which did numbers for them. And I think they really saw the impact of what can happen when you bring one of these popular high school kids to the NBL. What can it really do for you? Now, when this dude actually came over and was playing in the NBA, LaMelo Ball in the NBL, he was going crazy. He was scoring a ton of points and was very successful on the court, but the amount of viewership that the NBL had went up. Now, of course, people may not be watching these games live, but you can't tell me that people were not buying more ticket sales. A lot of people are tuning in, and I'm sure LeVar Ball had a ton to do with that. Now, of course, we know Julian Newman is no LaMelo Ball, and I'm not trying to make that comparison, but if we take a look at the two, you can't tell me that Julian Newman doesn't have some type of following to him, which could increase their viewership, help them get more ticket sales, and really may not actually be so bad of a business move. Now, do I actually think Julian Newman has a shot at playing in the NBL? The reason why it would be tough, of course, is because how short this dude is. This guy honestly is very short, was never gifted really that growing pill to actually end up getting taller. And if he was taller, maybe we would be talking about this more seriously, but I think that's the huge issue. Now, there's another opinion, and honestly, I had to state this as well because I think this is very interesting. One thing that I continue to notice about Julian Newman is that he's still continuing to train hard in the game of basketball. Now, you could say, one, that this dude just likes and enjoys playing basketball, but I always question, why is he training so hard in the gym for all this time after he's graduated high school basketball if he's not going to be playing somewhere in the future? You really have to think about that. Why would he be continuing to train? It really doesn't make any sense to say Julian Newman's continuing to get in the gym, work very hard, train with all these professional players, but he has no type of backup plan or no type of plan to play in the future. That's something we have to ask ourselves. And clearly, most likely, if he's training in the future, he's going to want to go somewhere and try to play at the next level. Now, it may not be talent-wise, but for sure, advertising, this dude has a ton to bring to the table. And if you guys have even peeped his TV show, it's actually pretty interesting. Regardless if you think it's cringe or not, it definitely brings in the type of views that I think the NBL or one of these professional leagues could benefit from, this type of audience that they haven't really been exposed to. Now, of course, there are a lot of politics in this game of basketball, and you guys know a lot of people actually like to criticize people like Jamie Newman or even fathers like LeVar Ball, but at the end of the day, their son's definitely put in a ton of work. We cannot take that away from Julian Newman. He's put in a ton of work, and I think it would not be crazy to say he may actually end up playing somewhere overseas. Now, you could call me crazy, and of course, a lot of people are going to disagree with these type of statements, but if you really take a look at the facts, man, there is something planned that we do not know about. I doubt Julian Newman is just going to continue to keep training and never end up playing anywhere. We have to look at the facts, and low-key, we may see Julian Newman in the NBL, but I'm curious, what do you guys think? Am I stretching? Is this all cap? Do you think I missed something about this topic? Let me know in the comments down below. I always want to hear your opinions, but honestly, it's interesting to me that he even gave him a follow and is clearly looking at and following what this dude is doing and may have some interest trying to play there. And of course, Julian Newman's father actually stated that they did have interest from overseas teams. Of course, we still have never seen any type of proof of that, and I believe they even faked a college offer as well. Now, that's all speculation, and who knows if he will actually end up playing, but with that previous thing going on, and of course, him capping about a college offer, it makes this questionable to believe what he has to say. Can we really believe what Jamie Newman is saying, that Julian Newman has had interest from overseas teams? And of course, Julian Newman, we still have not seen him step on the court in a minute to play in any of these leagues, which may beg the question, were they lying or does he actually have interest? Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about that as well? Was it all cap, or will we see Julian Newman in an NBL jersey very soon? Let me know in the comment section down below, and recommend any videos that you do have for me. I always appreciate recommendations and new vids that you guys want to see, but let me know in the comments down below, man. Make sure you like this video. It is free, and I appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications to get a new notification every time I upload a new video. Now, we just actually hit 16K subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into the channel. channel. It really means a lot to me, and I know I don't always thank you guys for it, but I really do appreciate all the love and support, and you guys are always dropping comments and giving feedback on my vids. If you think there's anything I can improve on, let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate it. All right, it's LNH and I'm out.